Okay, so the Eagles had a shocking offensive playmaker pop up on the injury report. Meanwhile, Vic Fangio breaks down the shuffled up secondary and talks about what he might do versus the Bears. So much to break down, including some small rumors about the Eagles bringing in Brian Daboll. Plus, Jalen Hurts is expecting a full team response, and the Eagles and Bears 2025 alliance is officially over. What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and it's the Philly Talk Podcast. If you rock with our Philadelphia Eagles, do me a favor, hit the like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss the videos. So as the Philadelphia Eagles have their first practice of the week in preparation to take on the 8-3 Chicago Bears, mind you, Thursday's Thanksgiving, and Friday, which we'll be playing on, is Black Friday. Literally, the Eagles will be wearing all black everything, the first and only time this season, and they're asking everybody who shows up at the link to wear all black. On that note, let's take a look at the injury report. Xavier Gibson, Brandon Graham, Lane Johnson, of course, Andrew Makuba, and Devonta Smith all did not practice. Now, the shocking name on that list for me is none other than Devonta Smith, as he has a shoulder/chest injury, and it's a DNP. I understand we're talking about a Tuesday injury report, but we're not playing Sunday. We're playing Friday. So I still would have liked to see him as a limited participant, like we see for Saquon Barkley's groin, Reed Blankenship's thigh, and Lander Dickerson's knee. As for the full participants, Miles Hinton, Adoree Jackson, and Willie Lampkin. But as you see next to Adoree Jackson, it says game day concussion protocol evaluation. Not sure what that means, but him being a full participant is a good thing because the Eagles secondary absolutely changed when he went out. I know he was getting cooked a little bit by George Pickens, but so was Cooper DeJean. And when Fangio was asked about him going with MC2 in the slot and Coop outside, this is what he said.
That's what we felt was the next best combination.
How do you think Cooper held up outside? This is a tough matchup, obviously.
Yeah, he got beat a couple times. I thought he was tight, just at the catch point got beat. It's going to happen some.
There are already Eagle fans out there like, I told you, Coop can't play outside. Relax, it's one performance. George Pickens was in his bag. CeeDee Lamb got away with a clear push-off. If we need to go back to this combination, we'll be fine. Clearly, you see that Fangio don't trust Keely Ringo or Jacorian Bennett, at least not versus the Cowboys wide receivers. But remember, Cooper DeJean has been playing outside corner in base defense the whole season. And if he can go one-on-one with Justin Jefferson in base defense, then I still think he has a bright future outside if needed. We just know how great his tackling, motion ability is when he plays in the slot for Vic Fangio. As for MC2, Fangio had some high praise for him.
I think he's a good player, good natural football player, understands the game. He's got good instincts, got good technique to his game. He's quick. We're pleased to have him.
Now, granted, he is new to the team, so he's going to have to get his chemistry right with Quinn and Coop, as he ran into Quinyon Mitchell on that George Pickens big play that led to a field goal. However, he's not just working at the nickel spot, as Vic Fangio told us that he is playing safety too, and right now he's safety number 4. But with Andrew Makuba being out, needing to get surgery, as we talked about yesterday, he might get some PT there, although Fangio said that he believes Reed Blankenship will be available on Friday, and like we saw on the injury report, he was limited on Tuesday, so I feel good about it. That being said, you still need to fill the other safety spot, and the first crack at it is going to be Sidney Brown, who was asked about knowing he was going to start the whole week. How would that help?
I mean, it's you just, what you're prepared for, what you're getting yourself into. I think every week I prepare to, prepare like I'm going out there to start to the best of my ability. And, what's going to be really nice is getting the reps under my belt up till Friday. Especially on a short end of the week, you're not going to really get all the live reps, but, just getting those mental reps, getting those reps in walkthrough. And I think those are huge. That's something that I'm not used to, on a week basis, but, getting that this week is going to be amazing.
Here's his opportunity to show what he can do. He first spoke about playing more calm, a little slower, because we all know he can get a little hectic. At least he would most likely be playing alongside Blankenship. We'll see what goes on the defensive side. Real quick, I can't wait for the Cowboys to lose on Thanksgiving, as George Pickens posted this on Gilly's IG. He then later deleted it, but he said, "Weak-ass Philly fans, y'all known for y'all sandwiches." Okay, we definitely going to remember that. And the next time, which probably won't be this year, because I don't think y'all going to finish business. But if you're still a Cowboy, just wait till you come to the link. Also, I don't know if you've been paying attention to the Eagles and Bears alliance we've had thus far in the 2025 season, but the Bears beat the Cowboys, the Commanders, and the Giants for the Eagles, although we really didn't need their help. But we helped them out too by beating the Vikings, the Packers, and the Lions. At the end of the day, once was a nice alliance, has to come to an end on Friday, November 28th at 3 p.m. Both these teams are 8-3. Only one will get to 9-3. Now, before we talk about some of the key things Jalen Hurts said yesterday, and I'm sorry I got to do it to you, but you got to hear this one answer from Kevin Patullo. Plus, this little rumor starting that the Eagles could bring in Brian Daboll as an assistant or an advisor. And of course, a little bit more about the Eagles and Bears, including who the Eagles is adding into the Eagle Hall of Fame and what did he say about Jalen Hurts. Let's hear a word from our sponsor, Brunt Workwear. Choosing work boots used to mean sacrificing comfort or durability. If they felt good, they didn't last. And if they lasted, they wrecked your feet. Brunt thought that was BS. So they built tough boots that feel great from day one. No breaking in, no sore feet, because people out there doing the real work shouldn't have to choose between comfort or durability. My favorite one gotta be the Marin. I absolutely like the design of this boot, but more importantly, it is tough and comfortable. You get the best of both worlds with Brunt, and the Marin is my go-to. Seriously, y'all, the Brunt boots needed no time to break in. These things were comfortable as soon as I put them on and started to take my first couple steps. Y'all know Philly Mike is an indoor type of guy, but I promise you, if I need to get down and dirty anywhere outside for any job, Brunt boots are what I'm taking to go do what I gotta do. And did you know Brunt isn't just work boots? They offer a full range of high-performance gear built for tough jobs. Brunt was tired of workwear brands out there cutting corners. You work too hard to be stuck in uncomfortable boots that don't hold up, so they built something better. Boots that are insanely comfortable and built for any job site. For a limited time, our listeners get $10 off at Brunt when you use promo code PhillyMike at checkout. Just head to bruntworkwear.com and use the code PhillyMike and you're good to go. And after you order, they'll ask you where you heard about Brunt. Do us a favor and tell them that it's from this show. To make it easier, click the link in the description and or the pinned comment section. It should take you right there. Again, code PhillyMike. Get your Brunt Workwear. So Jalen Hurts was asked about what he and other leaders said about getting the offense right and consistent.
I think it's a team message. It's a team message of how you respond. Your response is very important in anything you do. And so it's a question of how bad you want something, what you're willing to do to get it. Continue to come together to achieve the collective.
The respond is important. This is a huge game to decide certain things in the NFC and for the Eagles. And I love that it's a team message, not just the captains and leaders on offense. We all need to respond because everybody has something involved, whether it's penalties, lack of execution, and or calling crazy plays. Then Jalen was asked about all his play callers, how they're probably different, not just in game planning, but on game day. Now that you've been with KP for a while, how is he on game day?
I don't want to get into the particulars of that. I mean, I've had a lot of OCs, it's always been that change, and it's always been an exciting thing to get to learn it. You know, so it's been a challenge that I've embraced. So they've all definitely been different, but we've always found a way in the end.
He didn't want to get into particulars because I don't think he can, due to how ridiculous the adjustments and all that are on game day. With that being said, he said we always get it done at the end, not in 2023. And hopefully this ain't like 2023, although it was the defense that was bad, not really the offense, blah, 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 blah. Lastly, they asked Jalen Hurts, since you're the quarterback, what would you like the identity to be of this team? Like, what would you pick?
The identity needs to be something everybody's in alignment in. So it's not a matter of how it looks. I don't care how it looks. I don't care who does it. I just like for it to get done. And I remember getting the question last. I think he's not here. He asked me the question about the pass game taking a step after a loss. It's like, well, who cares? We didn't win, so nothing takes precedent over finding ways to win, and that's really what matters.
They stay trying to get Jalen Hurts to come out of character, and he won't. He does or will want to do whatever it takes to win. And one of the many reasons why I'm optimistic about this team still is because MC2 just got here, and he was asked, how was the locker room after a tough loss like that to the Cowboys?
Yeah, I think it was no flinch. Everything's still in front of us, everything that we want to accomplish, and so it was good to see, and everybody was focused and is ready to respond in a positive way.
Teams that don't flinch normally respond and then normally get some things going, and that's what the Eagles got to do against the 8-3 Bears. As for Kevin Patullo being asked about the Cowboys breaking tendencies on the last play, the 3rd and 2, that was ugly.
No, I wouldn't say they broke any tendencies. I mean, when you look at a lot of teams, they have their kind of blueprint and pattern for what they want to do and show. And in that moment, we had a play that had answers versus multiple coverages, and unfortunately, it didn't work. And that's when you walk away from the game like that. You always know there's not one play that necessarily defines the game, but that's one of those plays that obviously all of us would love to change and have a different outcome. And that's where it's frustrating, because everything that led up to that point, it comes down to that moment. But some of that other stuff, if it goes a different way, that moment doesn't count. So, it's frustrating when that kind of stuff happens. And ultimately, we just got to find a way to just, execute those in those spots.
Bro, just say I wish I had that play call back instead of saying we had a play drawn up for multiple coverages. All hitches except for an AJ slant? No. Eagle Nation tweeted Kevin Patullo asked if Nick Sirianni dictates how he calls plays during the game. He said, no, we talk about situations as they come up, like down and distance, 4th downs, and things like that, but that's really it. Now, of course, he could be sticking up for Nick Sirianni because he got him the job and won't fire him. But who knows if Nick Sirianni's butting in or it's just KP in over his head. I mean, this stat right here is disgusting from Eagle Nation. The Eagles are the only team in NFL to have lost multiple games after leading by 14 plus points this season via ESPN. Another stat that's going to hurt your soul. Out of the 11 games played this season, only 3 times the Eagles scored 7 or more in an entire half. That means 8 games this season, one half, whether it's the first half or the second half, or 2 quarters straight, we went with scoring 7 or less. 8 times out of 11. Sheesh. I guess the Eagles are going to wait and see what happens during Bears game since it's a short week. I'm talking real small murmurs on Twitter about former Giants head coach Brian Daboll coming in to work with Kevin Patullo as an assistant and or an advisor. He could probably help him out. He was a great play caller in Buffalo, also has experience with Jalen Hurts at Alabama. Again, I have to think about it myself, just going off the small murmurs because, as you can tell, Eagle Nation is desperate. Lastly, shout out to Malcom Jenkins, who will be inducted in the Eagles Hall of Fame. We cannot lose in front of him. He was asked about Jalen Hurts and all the criticism he gets, and I love what he says here.
Can't make sense of kind of the activities that are happening around him. But I do know, I do really respect his demeanor and his approach and how he goes about it. As much attention and much disrespect, criticism, praise, whatever goes his way, he constantly doesn't make it about himself. And I've seen, guys throughout my career, much more decorated, that could not take the type of criticism from the organization, from the locker room, from fans, from analysts, and without making it a thing. And I think it's really commendable that he's able to keep his focus, that he's able to roll with the punches. It's a really a true testament to his leadership, and it's a reason why the team is where they are. It might not be pretty, but the results are the results, and that's what we're all here for. And so I think it's, when I talk about lying to yourself, I think a lot of the hype that comes around him are people just absolutely lying to themselves. They have expectations and things they want to see, and completely ignoring the results. And so for him, I'm a big fan for Jalen, not only because of my personal relationship, but just because of what he stands for, and understanding myself what it looks like to have a vision for a team, for something that maybe not everybody sees, but I have to stand 10 toes down on it until everybody sees what I see.
With that being said, I go by Philly Mike. This is the Philly Talk Podcast. Do your boy a favor, hit the like, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the videos. Also, go click the link in the description and or the pinned comment section. Get your Brunt Workwear boots. They also sell a lot of other stuff on the website. Use my code, use my link. If you don't do construction, maybe somebody in your family does. They will love it for a Christmas gift. Until next time, you know what time it is. Philly strong. Leave a comment. We out.